Alright, and welcome back, and we are rolling. 2019 season is in full effect. We are really kicking things off. This past weekend, we had tons of meets. We had the Texas relays, we had the Florida relays, we had the Stanford Invitational. We had so many different meets across the country and a lot of great performances from both pros as well as the NCAA athletes. So let's take a look at some of the really significant highlights that occurred this past weekend in track and field. First off, let's take a look at those Texas relays. Of course, they're known for those relays and for those sprints. They're also known for some really strong wins. So, of course, we had some fast times despite the win, but one of the highlights was that men's 4x100 meters. We had LSU going up against Houston, the NCAA champions from last year, as well as the NCAA record holders. LSU managed to take Houston down in the final meters, 38.41 to get the NCAA lead this year. Houston ran 38.45. Really close race. We saw Jerron Flournoy. He was kind of taunting Houston once he passed the line. A lot of adrenaline, a lot of intensity going across the line, passing Houston in the final meters, but it was all good. Of course, Flournoy, he went up to Houston after that. He said that it was no bad blood, no bad feelings or anything like that, just all in the spirit of competition. We have a good rivalry that's going to be going between LSU and Houston in a 4x1. Of course, again, Houston has that NCAA record from last year. We're also going to see Florida creeping up into things. They really have a strong 4x1 this year as well. So keep on a lookout for all these teams in the 4x1. Let's see if they can push the pace towards that NCAA record and see if they can bring it down a little bit further this year. Also going down at the Texas relays, we saw Jen Scher, the 2012 Olympic champion. She is 37 years old this year, but she was jumping in the pole vault. She managed to clear 4.91 meters. That is a huge mark. Again, she's 37 years old. That's a world lead. Very significant. 7 years ago, she was the Olympic champion. So definitely keep a lookout for her. She is not stopping. She's not giving up. She does not look like she's retiring anytime soon. She's definitely going to be one to look out for throughout this entire year. Next up, we have Peyton Otterdahl from North Dakota State University. Of course, he dominated indoors. He won the weight throw. He won the shot put, breaking the NCAA record there. This year, he started off really strong outdoors. He managed to throw 21.24 in that shot put, taking the NCAA lead by a wide margin. So he's going to be one to look out for. In the discus throw, he managed to take the win at the Texas relays with a 61.36 meter throw. He's not the NCAA leader, though. He only sits third on the NCAA list this year, but look out for him. He's probably going to be going for the triple in the shot put, the discus, and the hammer throw this year. So, of course, the shot put looks to be sealed up. We're going to see what he can do in that discus as well as the hammer throw once we get to NCAA championships this year. Now, finally, from Mississippi State, we had Anderson Peters. He was throwing the javelin. A huge performance at the Texas relays. He managed to throw 86.07 meters in that javelin. That made him number 3 all-time in the NCAA. So really strong performance from him. The NCAA record is only 89.10 meters, so he's really close, just about 3 meters away. So we're going to see how much he progresses through the outdoor season as we get closer to those NCAA championships. Now, let's jump over to the University of Florida, where we had the Florida relays. Really great meet where we had pros as well as NCAA runners, as well as high school runners as well. Grant Holloway, one of the highlights. We've been tracking him all year. He broke the American record indoors in that 60-meter hurdles. This year, he opened up in the 110 hurdles. He managed to run 13.28 in those hurdles. Really great performance. Not as clean as he probably wanted it to be. He had Daniel Roberts from Kentucky. He finished second indoors in those 60-meter hurdles. He was right behind. He ran 13.30. So Grant Holloway has a lot of competition. Roberts is really going to be pushing him all season. Holloway also managed to run 20.66 in the 200 meters and also split 44 seconds on a leg of the Florida 4x4. So look for Grant Holloway. Again, he's going for that NCAA record, sub 13 in that 110 hurdles. We're going to see a lot from him. We're going to be checking to see what he does at the NCAA championships. Will it be the hurdles and the 100 meters, the 200, the long jump? What is he going to do? So let's take a look. Let's keep tracking him through the season. Keeping it with the Florida Gators, we have Sharika Barnett. She managed to run 50.96. That's the world lead. She is the first woman to go under 51 seconds this season. Very strong performance. She's going to be setting herself up really well to really compete for that NCAA championships. Of course, there's a lot of other women who are really going to be fighting for it, but Barnett is the front runner right now in that 400 meters. Now, in the 400 meter hurdles at the Florida relays, we had Donna Bell. She's running for Barbados. She managed to run 54.18 in those hurdles. Amazing performance. One of the strongest performances very early in the season. She's definitely going to be setting herself up as one of the top competitors in those hurdles. Of course, there's a lot of other ladies. Sydney McLaughlin, we have Dalilah Muhammad, Corey Carter, but Bell looks to be setting herself up as one of the top competitors going into Doha this year if she can stay consistent with her early performance of 54.18 in those hurdles. Now, from North Carolina A&T, we had Kayla White running the 100 meters at the Florida relays. She managed to run 11.04. It was slightly wind aided, just 2.3 meters per second, so just 0.3 above the allowable, but really, really significant performance. Again, she's the indoor champion at 200 meters, very, very close to sub 11 seconds in the 100 meters, so look out for her. She's probably going to be very consistent through the season and really challenging possibly for that 100 meter and 200 meter double at NCAA championships. Now, still at the Florida relays and keeping it with North Carolina A&T, but moving up to the 400 meters on the men's side, we had Trevor Stewart. He ran 45.18 in that 400 meters. That is a world lead in the event, and we had a lot of guys run that 400. Really strong performance. This guy didn't even make the NCAA championship, so look for him to really hopefully stay consistent throughout the year and hopefully make those NCAA championships outdoor, where he'll definitely be a factor based on this performance here. Now, finally, in the women's 200 meters, we had Anavia Battle of Ohio State. She managed to run 22.54. Now, that might not be a crazy time, even though it's still early, but she ran it into a negative 1.2 meter per second headwind. Very, very strong performance. Again, she was one of the top competitors going into the NCAA championships indoors. She managed to get 5th place, so didn't do as well as she probably wanted to, but outdoors, she's already starting off really well. She's hopefully going to be consistent and on a roll going into those championships this year. Now, moving over to the Stanford Invitational, always known for the great distance races that they put on, this year did not disappoint. We had Emily Sisson as well as Molly Huddle going toe-to-toe in that 10K. Emily Sisson managed to come away with the win. She ran 30 minutes, 49.57 seconds, a huge, huge performance that made her the number 3 American all-time in the 10K. She's gearing up for the London Marathon, so this is a great performance and a great builder for her. She was followed closely behind by Molly Huddle, who's the American record holder. She also went under 31 minutes with 30 minutes, 58.46 seconds. So great performances by these top 2 ladies. They were followed closely behind by Ali Ostrander of Boise State. She was running very, very well. She ran way ahead of herself. She managed to run 32 minutes, 6.71 seconds. So huge, huge performance from her that made her the number 10 NCAA athlete all time. So great performances in the 10Ks by all the women at Stanford. Finally, ending things off, we had the pole vault at the Stanford Invitational. Olivia Groover of Washington State. She managed to jump a huge 4.73 meters in that pole vault. That is the NCAA record in the pole vault. This is her first competition of the year. She no-heighted last week, so she didn't even get a jump. But indoors, she also didn't compete all season as well. So huge, huge performance for the first time that she's actually getting over a bar. We're definitely going to see a lot more as the outdoor season progresses and once we get closer towards those NCAA championships in June. Alright, so those are just some of the highlights from the top meets and the top performances from this past weekend. Make sure you guys keep tuning in. Make sure you guys like and subscribe to the video. Leave a comment below on what your favorite performance from this past weekend was, alright? We'll be back again very soon with another video. Thanks.